Hey y'all, happy Tuesday. So I want to dig in a little bit more after where we left off yesterday, which I do hope that you went back and you read those scriptures from Romans again. They are so full of life and the goodness of God, and that what Jesus did for us. This is so amazing. Okay, that what Jesus did for us is out of all proportion to what Adam did, Adam's fall. But he says, um, for if because of one man's trespass, death reigned through that one, much more surely, much more surely. So, as evident in this world as it is of what Adam did, which we see it everywhere. We can see the effects of sin and death that entered the world when Adam, well, as this says, the offense, that death came in as clearly and as evidently as we see. Much more surely, more assuredly, more real will those who receive God's overflowing grace and the free gift of righteousness reign as kings in life through Jesus, the Messiah. And as one man's trespass, his false step and falling away, it led to condemnation, so Jesus, one man's act of righteousness, leads to acquittal and right standing with God for all men. Leads to our right standing with God, your right standing with God. What Jesus has done leads to our right standing. Oh, it's just so wonderful and so good. So we, of course, were born. Now I'm reading some from day 20. We were born really as dead men walking, dead women. We were born into death. Because, of course, what Adam did, our nature was that after death. But we have a choice now. And I've given this example before, and it was such a powerful visual for me. For someone, and this is before Jesus, so before we have received Christ and been set free, it's like we're handcuffed and bowed over with the weight of everything pressing and pushing and holding, and slaves, really, bound in handcuffs. But then Jesus came and he unlocked the handcuffs. They're unlocked. So now we have a choice to make. Do we remain bound by sin and death? Do we remain in handcuffs? Or because they're unlocked, do we take them off and throw them away? We talked about this, I believe it was in one of the lives this weekend, that God is a gentleman and he doesn't force his way on anybody. He didn't force his way on Adam and Eve in the garden. He hasn't forced his way on mankind ever. We were given free will and free choice. And it works the same way in freedom. So if we are choosing to walk in the freedom that Jesus Christ has given us, then we must choose to take the handcuffs off. They have been unlocked, and we now have a choice. So do we choose to remain handcuffed, bound to sin in our flesh? Or do we choose to receive freedom in the love of God? But we all have to make that choice for ourselves. And I love the language that Paul uses in this, that the work of Christ is not even to be compared to what Adam did. It's out of all proportion. They should not even be compared. And so for that, I say thank you, Father, that there is nothing that we could ever do, that would exhaust his grace towards us. There's only one thing that we must do in order to receive his grace, where we receive and welcome him And that's what we're going to get into tomorrow. I hope you'll join us again. I'll see you then. Bye, y'all.